do wonder, by the way, given that Mike has to know the temperature, Corey, you asked the question in the press conference, the difference between internal pressure and external pressure. Did you buy it? What he said, his answer?
Well, yeah, I do. I heard you and Tom talk about this yesterday. It's like I do wish he'd stop saying nobody cares more than I do.
Yeah, stop doing that. There's a lot of people that care more.
But also, none of us get $50 million to not coach the football team like he might. And I know he cares a great deal. I know he's really frustrated by it. Maybe he should say nobody's more frustrated by it. But to say nobody cares more, man, there's the people that pay for those loge boxes care quite a bit.
I was just around them on Saturday.
The people that paid for Tommy Castellanos care quite a bit.
How about the people who pay season tickets like my dad, who aren't in a loge box, who had to elevate their status just to be able to keep their seats?
And it's not about money. I ran into a guy this morning, and I was coming out of pickleball. He was going to the weight room. We just started talking. And as the conversation went on,
did y'all go to the sauna?
No, not this time.
Oh, okay. I'm telling you, missing out.
That's a good conversation there. Yeah.
But like, we're just talking in the parking lot, and everything's fine. And then the more he starts talking,
the
more he's like, I just have to stop. I said, go work out, man. Yeah. Now you're motivated.
Because it's been a part of, like, speaking for Jeff and I, it's been a part of my life since I was 7 years old. Yeah. It's been a part of your life probably the same amount.
Yeah,
and I do care a lot. Yeah. I care a lot, and I care a lot now because it's also my livelihood. But there's a lot of people that have grown up with Florida State football and are embarrassed by the current state of it.
It's a huge part of their lives.
It's a huge part. It brings people a lot of great joy, and obviously the last year and a half, quite a bit of anguish.
It brings them some perspective.
Yeah, right.
I'll say I think he's very aware of that.
Right.
I do think he understands that there are people who are like my dad or like Corey's dad was, or Corey and myself, or and I get texts from people that live all over the country that went to Florida State. Either at the same time that I did or just after, and they text me and they're all just enraged, and they know that it's almost irrational when they text some of the things they text because they're losing it. They're like, what in the effing hell? And I think to myself, imagine being like a Nebraska fan. And you were the most dominant program in the sport for a stretch. You are a legendary program, and you've been obsolete for 20 plus years. And people are so fearful that could happen to their program, and in this case, Florida State. Now, I don't think it's going to happen to Florida State for a lot of reasons, but hey, man, you've had a losing season, 5 of the last 10 years? You started 0-3 in the ACC this year. You've lost 8 straight ACC games. You lost 9 of 10 ACC games. You do feel powerless. You don't feel like you can do it. And then when you hear the coach say something like that, it pisses you off to no end.
Yeah.
And that's why you should stop saying
that. Because I'm telling you, I do think he's a likable person.
Oh, I think he's a bad person.
And I think he's a genuine, as much as a college football head coach can be. They're all weirdos. I think he's one of the most normal of the weirdos. And I think he's a genuine person that truly, truly cares about his lot in life and his lot with this program's lot in life.
I think it matters to him.
It matters to him.
You talked about, but he cares that the fans are disappointed and upset. It matters to him. And a lot doesn't for a lot of coaches.
Sure.
It certainly does. But at the end of the day, it doesn't.
I mean, if you keep losing, you can care on the beach.
But I think anybody who has a discipline and a work ethic and cares about what they produce would be very upset. And he is upset with the fact that he's failing. He is failing here currently, and he's right up against it now. I mean, his seat is hot. He's not necessarily going to be fired, tomorrow. You have to run and lose to Stanford. There's probably no coming back.
I literally don't think. I think.
I mean, there's
he might be on the plane. He might be on the plane back, but I don't think he'd be the coach Monday practice.
Well,
I just don't think he would.
So that's a topic of conversation because somebody asked me that yesterday. Speaking of which, walking in and out of place, I was going on our old friends at Horizons. I was walking to Horizons to eat with my wife. We were sitting outside watching the sunset. It was a glorious night.
Were Mike and Carrie there?
They were not. Clark works there now, so he's there all the time. So, but yeah,
how about some nepotism? I want to see a case of nepotism. Good grief!
His last name was Smith. Well, if it was Smith, he would be working.
Yeah, he would be working. But long story short, this guy asked me the same question. He's like, "Hey, man, out of curiosity, I know you're done with him, Jeff, but would they be done with him if he loses on Saturday to Stanford?" And I thought, you kind of have to fire him that Sunday, don't you?
Well, that would be like the Notre Dame game last year where you have to show your fan base that you care. And this is unacceptable in every way, shape, or form. Because if you lose to Stanford, you are losing 3 more times and the season is completely officially off the rails. There's no coming back from a loss to Stanford. None.
I mean, you'd be losing to a team that not only is
fired
not
their coach
good,
already.
Not only not good, but Frank Reich, their interim head coach, not only is he the interim head coach, but he has repeatedly said back to ACC kickoff and since, I don't want this job. Like I'm not trying to earn a permanent job.
Yeah.
Like, because people keep asking him, he's like, no. I am not. I did Andrew Luck a favor. I love him. I'm trying to help him out. I am not going to, if I coach anywhere in the future, it's going to be in the NFL. It's not going to be here. And if you lose to that team, it's like, man, what are we doing? But I think it's going to be a challenge. You're going across the country.
You wrote that. So why do you think it's going to be a challenge for people who didn't read it? They should go to warchant.com and do so. But if not.
Well, that was my whole point about that game, and why my stance completely changed is because at the end of the day, if you can't play defense a lick, and that's basically now what we've seen when they didn't play defense against Virginia, you're like, okay, well, you went on the road, you've been
mobile quarterback.
You got fat on these chumps you've been beating the last couple of weeks. Yeah. You didn't have the edge. You went in there confident probably, and they got you. It's their home game. It's just
everything went wrong early. Yeah.
Then you come back 1 week later against Miami, and you have guys that look like they can't match up with Miami at all. Like some of the guys in the secondary, you're just getting run by.
Oh, yeah.
That's not good. And then you come back a week later, and you look like you didn't know Desmond Reed was on their team. So that was
was amazing.
It was preparation and execution. And it's like, and then how many weeks in a row are you going to ask these linebackers to cover dudes in space that they can't cover in space? And then on top of that, now I'm like the guy at the parking lot.
And another thing. The
thing that killed me about the defense in that game is you're going to play that deep shell and like just sit back, but then not trigger. It's like, what do you do? What's the point there?
They were frozen.
What's the point of playing that scheme? And then
another thing.
I guess the other part of it is, and I think this is why a lot of fans are done, is because they're not even looking like a likable team right now. Like you're seeing dumb penalties. You're seeing the ridiculous celebrations after every play, no matter the circumstances. Like when a play is over, the first thing anybody wants to do is go like take a picture in the end zone or whatever. And it's like all that stuff's fine if you're good, but when you're not good, man, it drives people crazy. So that's like all of that does not portend to me a team that's going to go on the road and play really well.
And it's frustrating because you saw a team who didn't do any of those things against Alabama.
Oh, yeah.
They triggered. They hit. They played with confidence and ferocity. They weren't overly look at me. It was about the next play. It was celebrating with each other the accomplishments after each stop. They were buttoned up and prepared in a way that Alabama wasn't. They were the more prepared team. You outcoached Alabama. You outplayed Alabama. You did all those things. And ever since then, Alabama's been worlds better than you have gotten better from that loss. They got a kid now who's in the Heisman conversation, and you have slowly just gone back and reverted to the same sorry-ass form from a year ago in which all of the things that pissed this fan base off are rearing its ugly head. You're losing in the ACC again and again and again. 2 of them are at home, and you just sense that it's about to go off the tracks.
It's tough when you have a program that doesn't handle expectations well, because as soon as they beat Alabama, as soon as they beat Alabama, right? But this is the point. As soon as they beat Alabama, the expectations went through the roof. Yeah. So they don't handle expectations well. They also don't handle failure well. Well, then what do you handle well?
Jack squat, Corey. They are all over that wheel route, baby.
They don't handle when they're good, and they can't handle when they're good because then they think they're too good. They thought they were too good going into that Georgia Tech game last year when they had accomplished nothing. They beat Alabama. They think they're the best team in the country when they've beaten one team. So they can't handle when they're too good, and when they show any weakness or vulnerability, they can't handle that either.
Well, and that's where honestly,
they could when they had Jordan Travis and Jared Burse, and that's about a wrap on the times they could handle expectations.
And we haven't had this conversation, and this was not necessarily my viewpoint, but as you're saying that, I'm sitting there going, well, that's all on the head coach.
I know
that's all on the head coach. But and that was the thing, like talking about the defense.
That wasn't a shot at Earl Little. That was a shot at the head coach.
Well, I was just thinking because we were talking about the defense, and I was like, going back to what we said in the first segment is if this was a normal situation, you have a first-year defensive coordinator, and Mike Norvell's not running the defense. So you would say, hey, man, that's not all on the head coach. He hired this defensive coordinator that everybody was excited about, had a good resume, has done good things, and it's not working through 6 games. But that's not necessarily a reason you fire the head coach, except for last season. Like that's the problem. Is there's no grace because of last season.
Well, and it's frustrating too because there are other aspects that are less than flattering for the head coach. I go back to this a lot, and I hate it because I'm beating a dead horse. That dude's opening press conference, he talked about the importance of special teams. He talked about how it would be a reflection of what the team is because he believed that that's where you see the mental toughness and the makeup of what a squad is, how they play on special teams.
Yeah. How much you care about
how much
that
you care about
show.
How you do anything is how you do everything, all that stuff, right? Hey, man, the special teams, if they didn't have a guy with a great leg year in and year out, there would be no aspects of special teams that you could hang your hat on.
I would love that.
And coaches don't get credit for a guy who's just got a booming leg. Like, get the hell out of here.
They lead the nation in kickoff coverage, kickoff return yards allowed. They've allowed
zero
No,
all season.
just kick it out of the back of the end zone. You're good to go.
Which I was telling Ira, is like, if you really believe in what you're doing as a special teams coach, and
you would never do that.
You would try to pin them at the 4 and see them try to return it.
Correct.
And then you tackle them at
like
18.
Jimbo used to do.
They
all
get
the
a block
time.
in the back, and they get the ball at the 9. You just say start the ball at the 25. It's a great weapon to have that you have a kid that can kick, but they all do now.
When you have this defense, so Corey.
You don't want to back them up. It doesn't matter. They can be at the 25, the 50. You're getting the ball back.
My point is, though, is that, okay, so the coach said that. So this is a terrible reflection on him. But the guy, and I understand he's now, linebackers? Why is Papucha still here? I mean, I love him. He's a nice guy. What the hell? What does it say you do here, man? Special teams, ends, linebackers, anything you've been responsible for sucks.
2 All-American kickers last year, buddy.
Yep. And he had
he made them.
He was Jermaine. He was Johnson and Jermaine Johnson and Jared Verse's coach. How dare you? He's the only one that's produced any NFL talent around here.
But
Shut up.
Pump block to me. The pump block to me, we don't have the stopwatch to know how quickly Chimento's getting it off. Maybe he's taking too long. But they've got 4 guys. They motioned a 4th guy over there. They have 4 guys. You only have 3 to block, and you take the outside guy and leave a guy to go right down the middle. And you could say, okay, well, that's on the players, I guess. Maybe they've got to decide that. But you also can get the numbers right for a team that spends as much time on special teams as they do.
Well,
I was
going to say, we don't know that they spend any time on it anymore.
Given the way that they used to, I wandered Hauser when we were out of practice.
I'm saying Malzahn might have come in and said, what is this practice schedule? We're not doing this. We got a kid that can kick it out of the end zone every time. We're not going to practice kickoff coverage once this entire season. What's the point of it? Literally, what is the point of it? It's a waste of practice because they have not had one returned against them
But you do have
all
to
year.
practice punting, Corey.
You do, and catching them.
And catching them,
too. You can practice that as well.